All right, what's up everyone? Kevin Leslie talking about starting sequence to a 2,000 meter test. And one of the things I like to tell athletes is start hot, settle early. Because when we start a 2K, what tends to happen more commonly than the athlete who kind of starts out a little bit too slow or conservative, more commonly athletes start out hot, but they forget to settle. So now all of a sudden they're 250 meters in, 300 meters in, they're a minute into that race, right? 2,000 meters, it's 6 to 8 minutes, give or take. They're a minute into that race and they're at a significantly lower split than what is probably sustainable for them for the full duration. And that's when you cause that fly and die, right? Or they went out too hot and they had a really difficult second half, right? It's because they forgot to settle into a pace and a rhythm that they could sustain throughout the full duration. Now, I say that, but you don't want to come out flat. You don't want to come out slow. Because in many ways, you're giving up the opportunity to really drive that split down and let it slowly come up. So my advice to those athletes is your first 5 to 7 strokes, drive it down, higher rate than your base, and then slowly let it come up. So let's call it 2-minute splits, an 8-minute 2K is your goal. So in that first 5 to 7 strokes, you're driving it from dead stop down to say a 150 to 155. And then you're slowly, after that 5th or 7th stroke, you're slowly letting it settle into that base 2-minute split. You don't have to drive it down to a 130 if your base is a 2 minutes, right? Within reason, right? But come out hot, then settle early. So same thing if your goal is a 640 2K split or 2K target. 140 split, right? I'm gonna drive it down to a 135, 133, whatever it may be, first 5 to 7 strokes. I'm going to slowly let it trickle up into that base 140. We are starting out hot, then we're slowly settling into our base rhythm. So let me demonstrate. I'm going to do my first 5 strokes. I'm going to drive that flywheel down, I'm going to drive that split down, and I'm going to settle into my base rhythm, right? So if I know that I can sustain, let's say a rate 32 for 2,000 meters, I'm going to start out probably half slide, a little bit shorter strokes, that 5 to 7 strokes, then I'm going to settle into that base 32. In that opening sequence, again, if my goal is 140, I'm not going to drive it down to a 120, but can I drive it down to a 130 and then let it slowly climb? Yes, and that's the way I want you to think about it. Oftentimes when we drive it down too low, that's when we run into issues, because then athletes, again, they get 250 meters in, they're a full minute into their 6 to 8 minute piece, and they haven't settled, and it's been extended beyond what they can sustain. So if I'm here, again, grabbing hold of my handle, I'm sitting at half slide, right? I got the whatever piece set up, right? In this instance, it's a 2K. First 5 strokes, settle into that base. I'll take about 10 strokes total. So I'm sitting ready. I'm at half slide. Attention, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm slowly letting it trickle. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5, right? So as you could see, hopefully, right, it's kind of tougher in the moment, but I started out hot, then I settled into my base. Obviously you can't see the monitor, but I dropped the split, then I slowly let it trickle up. And that's the way I want you to think to set yourself up for a complete piece, not just the fast opening 500 and then a fly and dive for the rest of it, right? That's what we want to think about. So if this was helpful, please subscribe, like, share, whatever you can. We got content coming out every week. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.